Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Conservative MP Alberto Costa is the new head of the Parliamentary Standards Committee, and he's come up with quite an extraordinary idea. He's saying that MPs who get things wrong, make mistakes, or break the rules should not be punished as harshly as they currently are. I beg to differ. These are the ones that are setting themselves up as the ideal. These are the ones that are responsible, that make the rules, that make the laws. They should be above reproach. They should not be in a position of being hypocritical, making laws for us while they themselves are breaking them. And so, no, I think that the punishments need to be increased, not decreased. And certainly if there's any form of corruption or money grubbing or anything like that, it should be not just resign as a minister, but an automatic resign as an MP and then face charges. He's being interviewed with the House magazine, which is the internal publication of Parliament. And he said that where minor failings occur that did not involve corruption, MPs should not have to stand up and publicly apologise. Yes, they should. Absolutely, they should. Now, nobody is calling for their head for making a mistake, a genuine, understandable mistake. We all do it. You do it at work. But I would make a mistake. I would say, oh, what have I done? Oh, my God, blah, 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 blah. If it was small, I would fix it. But I would still tell my boss, I made this mistake. I've corrected it. This is what I've done to relieve it. I'm just letting you know because it will show up at some point in the future and you go, what the hell's that? And so you tell him. And he was absolutely fine with it. Or if I made a mistake that I couldn't fix, I would go immediately to him and say, oh, Greg, my boss, I go, oh, I've screwed the pooch on this one. I've done this. I think this or this. I don't know which is the best way to sort it. What do you suggest? And together we would get a solution and fix it. And again, that was fine. But you own up. You stand there and you say, I've made a mistake. And people generally are very forgiving. People will forgive because they know we all make mistakes. We are none of us perfect. But you've still got to put your hand up. What this guy is saying is they don't. No, we're not calling for your head. But you put your hand up and say, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I thought this. I got it wrong. My mistake. Mea culpa. I mean, if it's very serious, then you go. But if it's just a mistake, that's fine. But for him to say, oh, no, we don't want to talk about it. We've got, he's made a mistake. We'll just move on. We don't talk about it. Don't apologise. Move on. No. First of all, it's where do you draw the line at what is serious and what isn't? It's got to come out and let people decide, let people see and judge whether it's a minor or a major mistake. Otherwise, what happens is you get mission creep, don't you? Yes, well, that would be acceptable, that wouldn't. And then all of a sudden, that would be acceptable, that wouldn't. And so on. Until eventually, you're doing the most awful things, but it's considered as minor. No, they can't do this. Now, the Standards Committee, they didn't know this until this article, but by tradition, the Standards Committee is always chaired by an opposition MP. So with the Labour government, it'd be a Conservative or, whoever the major opposition is, their party. So it's a Conservative this time. So that's how it goes. So it does, I think, provide a relief. So you're not getting the same party breaking the rules in government as being responsible for sorting them out in the committee. Fair enough. But it doesn't half seem like one hand is washing the other here, doesn't it? It's you scratch my back, I'll slip £500 in used notes in a brown envelope into your pocket. It's not right, and I think it needs to be made absolutely clear that there can be no cover up, no shadiness. Doesn't matter what the mistake is, you have to stand up, own it, and own up to it. And then just let the permeating atmosphere emerge. If it's a small, low-level thing, people forgive. If it's serious and you've corrected it, people forgive. It's not the mistake that people get angry about. It's the covering up of the mistake. And that's the big problem. Watergate. Watergate would never have exploded if at the beginning they'd have just, said, well, yeah, mistakes were made. He shouldn't have done that. Yeah, we did. We wanted that to happen. He should never have gone in there. We apologise. They've been fired and move on. It wasn't Watergate. It wasn't the event that caused the problem. It was the cover up. And politicians never learn. Hey ho, what do you do? Of course, Ferrier, she was part of that. Remember her? She got thrown out. That was the COVID thing. She got out, and that was the standard committee there. He's saying that should have been covered up. It was only going on a train journey. That cost her job. That cost an entire new election. And then there was BJ. Oh, it was only a little party in the back garden. Should that have been covered up? That nearly brought down a government. It's where do you draw the line? And that's the problem. Where do or can you draw the line? Keith Vaz, pretended to be someone else, pretended to be a washing machine salesman, was having gay sex. None of these things bother me, but he was getting the old sniff and doing it, if you know what I mean. And then at the same time banging on about family values and anti this and anti that, while he himself was partaking. It's the hypocrisy and the cover-ups. Don't do it. So no, Mr. Costa. Let's not have a little line that they don't cross and everything below it is acceptable. Let's make it nothing is acceptable and everything is so. That way you can be absolutely sure that honesty abounds. Now, obviously they're still going to fuck up. They're still going to do bad things. They're still going to be corrupt. They're still going to try and get away with things. That's not the point.
On Instagram.
Whoa!
And has agreed to come into the shop when they arrive.
That television just turned on its own. You may have heard it. Ghosts, man. Anyway, where was I? Yes. So nothing there. Don't draw the line in the sand. Don't cover it up. Get it out. Expose everything, and make sure they're held accountable. That way, at least, we can have some kind of trust from that bunch of charlatans and crooks in the House of Commons. What do you think? Tell me. Let me know. Should they be allowed to get away with minor stuff, or is it no holds barred? They have to expose everything. Till next time, bye.